as we mark the 6th month of our Octomont Virtus celebration. We honor the virtue of resilience, the quiet yet powerful force that pushes us to rise, adapt, and thrive despite life's challenges. Our featured SPCN for this month is Professor Gurley Abrigo, a proud alumna of San Pablo Colleges and now a distinguished faculty member at the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. Her story is a testament to the strength of spirit that SPC nurtures in its students. Strength that carries beyond the walls of the campus and into greater fields of influence.
So I'm Gurley Nora Abrigo, an Associate Professor of Sociology at the Department of Social Sciences, College of Arts and Sciences, University of the Philippines, Los Baños. So, in terms of my connection to SPC, I spent my elementary and high school days here at SPC, and I was also the president of the SPC Alumni Association in 2017 hanggang 2012 yata, hanggang 2012. And then, I'm really not, parang in my sense, I have not leave SPC because I'm directly and indirectly connected with SPC. My sister used to teach here from way back na umalis lang siya ng 2014. And then yung isa kong pamangkin is still teaching here, si Dr. John Clifford Alvero. And siguro nung si Rachel ay nandito, my sister, lagi din akong andito sa mga classes niya siguro. And then in terms of service to the broader community, I'm always connected with the higher educational institutions kasi yung UPLB expected kami as a faculty to do teaching, to do research and public service. So for my research, I've been an evaluator of PICARD impact assessment projects of the national programs of the Philippines conducted by different agencies. Tapos in terms of public service naman, hindi man lagi, but I served as resource speaker sa mga topics on qualitative research, impact assessment, mixed methods approach, and broader community pa din yung in terms of also being evaluator of mga ongoing projects and completed projects of higher educational institutions. May mga suki na universities like Benguet State University and Aklan State U. My hands are full as of the moment, but if I have the time, I would like to go back to reading siguro romance novels. Siguro hindi pa kayo familiar nung 1980s, no? Yung mga Mills and Boon na mga Harlequin romance books. Tapos, I always travel for work lang here in the Philippines and abroad. But if I have the time, yun yung gusto kong gawin. Upon retirement, I would also like to engage in photography siguro and write books siguro. Not on sociology, but on siguro love stories. So those are the things that are keeping me busy. That's my connection here at SPC and my personal interest given a lot of time siguro. I'm doing studies or I'm interested talaga and teaching also a course before on sociology of disaster. So on sociology of disaster, resilience is a central concept. So it might not be original to me. So yung simple definition of it will be bouncing back, but not bouncing back in the same state, but bouncing back better. So if I will define it in my own words, which might not be original after all, I look at resilience as a process and an outcome. So kung proseso siya, kung resilience is seen as a process, for instance, you take it entails several steps or actions or strategies to be able to adapt to a certain situation or challenge. Pero yun nga, given the lessons that you have learned from the past experiences. So yun yung proseso sa akin, if you define resilience that way. But you can also define it as an outcome in terms of yung di ba pag nadaanan mo tong steps na to, nag-bounce back ka better, you result to being a resilient person, for instance, or practicing resilience. So it might be true for individuals, but it might also true for institutions like SPC. Resilience is important because life is too complex. It's not true that life is complex lang at the present, but life has been complex. So if life is complex, there will always be challenges. Yung challenges na yun will differ in terms of nature and magnitude. So resilience comes in handy, even if you look at it as a process or look at it as an outcome, for instance. So siguro we connect it to SPC muna, no, in terms of how I become, siguro, or became, kasi process pa din siya, of being a resilient person. So siguro yung start of the action process, the values that guided you to take certain steps, sa pamilya naman nag-start yun in terms of yung spirituality more than religiosity siguro, and in terms also of your strong support system. So what happens now, where is SPC in all of this, in developing resilience? SPC nurtured the seeds that were planted siguro of your family in terms of spirituality, strong support system, and concern also for others. That's how I look at resilience, and also the connection with SPC to properly contextualize everything about resilience and the need for resilience at the present time. There will always be challenges because life is complex. So, hindi naman perfecto talaga yung buhay. So, na-experience ko as a person needing senior citizen na age, 65 siguro, sabihin natin. So, na-experience na yan. Financial difficulties while studying, death of loved ones, for example, sickness and illnesses, bullies in school, bullies in the workplace. O baka ako na yung bully ngayon sa workplace ko, no? So, challenge din for me and for others on how to deal with it. Siguro failures also in courses and subjects, and failures also in personal relationships, not the romantic ba, kasi yun yung isipin, no? Hindi yon. So yung pinaka major siguro when I recall all of this, ang pinaka challenging siguro in terms of difficulties where you can see resilience and the roles that are played by institutions and families was in 2018, no? So, noong 2018, I was diagnosed with shocking, stage 1 endometrial cancer, or uterus, no? There's a problem with my uterus in 2018. So, 2018 na yun, so ito yung naka-apekto lahat sa buhay mo, no? Parang peak of my career. So, ano yung mga ginagawa ko doon? So, I was teaching the horses I like, for instance. Tapos yung, ano mga ginagawa ko? I'm holding an administrative position. I'm doing my PhD. Hindi pa tapos hanggang ngayon, ano? Tapos, ano pa ba yan? I'm doing research. I was also handling a 25 million program or project as a program leader. So all things are happening all at the same time. So buti na lang nag-manifest yung symptoms, no? I was in a training, tapos may profuse bleeding ako. So right in the middle of the training, no? Sakit, tapos may ganyan. So yon, I know that something is wrong. So I had to go to the hospital. So syempre proseso din yung hospital. So, dini-NC ako, or yung Tagalog ay, ano nga yun? Ito, niraspa, no? Siyempre, pag niraspa ka, kukuhanin yung specimen, mag-specimen, tapos may biopsy, no? So, pagkatapos ng biopsy, ayan na, mga ilang weeks ba yun? Hindi ko na matandaan. Past life ko na yun. So, pagkatapos noon, syempre nakita mo, di wala interpretation yun kasi biopsy lang eh. So, nakalagay doon, carcinoma, ano ba yan? Endometrium, something like that. So, syempre, bilang ito tayo, nag-google para lalong takutin yung sarili, no? So, ganito yung mangyayari. So, after that, tatanggapin ba yon? So, may pinuntahan naman, parang, you would like to make it private, pero pag pina-private mo, doon sa ospital ang makikita mo, kulig mo na kasama doon, bakit ka po, dito? So, wala. So, may kinukuha ko lang. So, syempre, pag sa Pilipino, di ba, pag tinatanong tinatanong yung detalye, kailangan mong ibigay. So naibigay ko. So, anong ginawa ko noon? Syempre, pagbalik, ang ginawa ko, nalaman din ng friend ko, syempre. So, sabi niya mag-second opinion para malaman talaga kung totoo. So, she recommended me sa one of the best, if not the best, OB-onco in the Philippines. Male, may problema ko talaga sa mga male doctors pag OB, no? So, wala nga. So, pumunta kami ng sister ko doon. Tapos yon sinabi na ng doctor na right there and then, kailangan ka maoperahan. Sabi ko, hindi po pwede kasi I have to prepare emotionally pa. So, binigyan ako ng 1 week for 1 week yun. 1 week yata ang hiningi ko. No? After that, kailangan pa akong mag-admit before the scheduled surgery kasi 2 days ba earlier. Because may asthma din ako, it has to be managed pa din. Kasi di ba pag surgery may mga ganun na proseso. Kailangan strong yung heart mo, yung breathing and all. So yon ang nangyari. After noon, na-schedule na. So I have to make a decision na. Sabi ko nga, pick off career. So balikan natin yung resilience. So apply mo yung proseso. So ano yung gagawin mo? Ano yung options for me to continue on teaching, back to duty after the recovery for 2 months, no? Or take a leave kasi associate prof na ako, allowed, may right na kami and or privilege to take a leave, yung tinatawag na sabbatic. So, decision point, sabi nga natin, pag resilient ka, ang una mong gagawin magdadasal for guidance. So, dalawa yung options. So, apparently, ang binigay sa'yo is to take a leave. So, pag nag-take ka ng leave, so paano yung duties mo? So, option na naman, harap ka ng options ulit. So, what's easy to give up? Siyempre, sa mga matatandang katulad ko, pero sa mga bata, huwag niyong gagayahin to. The easiest to give up is the admin work. So, resign for a health condition. Siyempre, approve yun, ano? Sino ba namang hindi mag-approve yun? So, itong research na sinasabi ko na malaki na program leader ako, alam nila na napaka-huge ng responsibility. So, ang nangyari, walang tumanggap. So, yung sabbatic, allowed ka naman to do research or rest, really. So, definitely, it's not an option for me. So, ang nangyari ay tuloy yung research, tapos yung iba ay hindi. So, yung pag-aaral ko pa, nasa middle ako ng coursework, nung courses ko. So, gusto ko mag-drop sa mga courses ko noon, pero ayaw ng teachers ko. Na lang daw, magpa-incomplete kasi nakasubmit na naman ako ng requirement. Kasi bala ko di mag-LOA. So, hindi ako pinayagan. No? Di ba, mabait ang Diyos, mabait din yung mga teachers. Baka mabait din ako. Pero hindi yata. And then, after noon, so ang option lang is to continue. So, 2 months after recovery, trip na naman. Kala mo talaga you're in control of everything. Doon sa pagtitrip naman, na-aksidente na naman kami doon sa Nueva Ecija. So, I think it was not a good year. Or I was not changing really what needs to be changed. Kasi usually, challenges are there to remind you of something. So, anong ginawa ko noon? So, nagtigil na sa trip. And I have to depend, kasi ako yung independent person. So I have to depend on other people to manage for me yung mga project staff na younger than me. Kasi ako yung mas senior na faculty. So yon, nakita mo yung options at paano siya nina-navigate mo. Yung spirituality is first, you choose the options, you choose the best among options. So, anong ginagawa mo sa options mo pag resilient ka? Nagko-consult ka sa iba't ibang tao. So, kung tungkol sa pamilya mo, mga kapatid mo, di magulang mo, pag tungkol sa magulang mo, kapatid mo. Pero hindi mo itadrag yung pamilya mo pag naman yung sa school lang or sa mga kaibigan mo, so kakonsult mo. So, magandang navigation all throughout. So, pagkatapos nun, after a year, natapos naman yung proyekto, nasulit naman, pero ginagawa pa din hanggang ngayon. So, nakita mo yun, did I make the right choice? Apparently, siguro, yes. But kung may wrong decision, it contributes also to your resilience naman eh. The wrong decisions teach you lessons to make you a resilient person. So, eventually, okay pa rin. So, nakaabot na ako since 2018. Now is 2025. So, malayo na yung tinakbo. Magre-retire na ako. So, I think okay naman yon, lahat-lahat. So, yung resiliency proves to be there. And the process of being resilient proves to be there also. You make wrong decisions, but eventually, it will make you a better person siguro. Siguro better na ako ngayon kasi hindi naman ako masugat. But I'm too strict daw. So napapansin na daw. Kaya baka ako, yun yung wake-up call mo. Kinato ka lang siya, kinulbit ka. Magpakabait ka. So nagbago naman daw ako. The change is being seen daw by the students. Kasi may mga returning na estudyante mixed with sabi daw niya sa mga klase niya, ay hindi ganyan si ma'am dati. So I changed. I think because of that life event that contributes to where I am right now. I know SPC had stood the test of time, so it remains to be a resilient institution through the years. Nagdaan yung pandemic, andyan pa rin siya. Madaming competition, so andyan pa rin siya. And I know if you talk about resilience as an institution, you cannot escape the aspect of accountability. And I know naman that the administrators, the faculty and staff had also shown its accountability in terms of your responsibilities as an academic institution. So as SPC celebrates its 80 years of excellence and resilience, so one thing is clear, your journey forward is rooted in the pursuit of knowledge that translates into meaningful action for the common good. Yun naman yung mahalaga lagi eh. It's for the common good, yung lahat ng ginagawa natin as an academic institution. So let virtues, the commitment to moral excellence and patria, the love of country, be your guide as you venture into another 80 years for that matter. To the students, as you leave SPC upon your graduation, look back on SPC with gratitude on the skills, knowledge, and values they instilled in you, and let your work and advocacy be a testament to the spirit of SPC and to the legacy of SPC. Thank you and congratulations.
Professor Abrigo's journey is one of full circle triumph. From her formative years as a student of SPC to becoming an educator at one of the country's premier universities. Her path has not been without trials, but with every hurdle, she showed grace. With every setback, she chose growth. Her unwavering resilience has become her quiet legacy, one that continues to inspire. Thank you, Professor Gurley, for reminding us that resilience is not just surviving hardship, it is transforming it into purpose.